We're finally doing it. We're finally doing what the game wants and going to that symbol it keeps on highlighting every time you start up the fucking game. But welcome back to part 10 of A Hat in Time. This time we're finally going to tackle chapter 4, titled Alpine Skyline. And as you can tell by the probable length of this video, I want to get this all done as quick as possible. You have to visit every single area in Alpine Skyline twice, because it works very differently to any other world. But firstly, we're going over here. Just before I forget. Because there's a last thing we can build here to make our last relic. The way Alpine Skyline works, instead of it being a bunch of missions, it's an open space and you decide where you want to go. And there's just, depending on what path you take, that takes you to a different timepiece. So you have to explore every route and explore out an area. There is no designated mission of do this, do that. And I like the idea of it, I just think it's a bit poorly executed because this place is goddamn enormous and way too big for its own good, and it really struggles to be interesting because of it. Not that I think the concept is bad. If they ever make a sequel to this game, I'd love to see them explore this further and make bigger, more expansive worlds out of it. But as it stands, this one's just ugh. And we'll get to that when we get to it. So it just says free roam, and everything pixels out, so that's going to... Just because, you know, it has to load so much, it pixels out for a second there. But yeah, Chapter 4, Alpine Skyline, free roam. That's it. If you don't have the grappling hook, you will not get anywhere in this bloody chapter. Just putting it out there now, you need the grappling hook. And I like the atmosphere of this opening bit here. It's quite haunting. It gives you this ominous feeling of what's to come. Yeah, it's not actually accurate to what it's actually like when you get there. It's a lot more joyful when you get there, but this opening area is quite well done. It got into the atmosphere of it. I was like, oh, this could be interesting. It's very ominous and very mysterious. But it doesn't change the fact that as soon as we get past this, you sort of look at the size of everything there is and how far away everything is and go, oh god. First we need to ring this bell. You have to stay attached to it until it opens like it's like that. And to be fair, that's your first deadlock. If you don't have the grappling hook, you're not opening that door. Now we have the long climb up to the top of this tower. This takes longer than it should. Well, I get that they're trying to build up the suspense and trying to make you go, oh, what is this? What's around? What's going on? Ooh. But still, it's... And there are the odd spiders as you go up here, so be careful. Even though their webs are attached to the space, so don't know how that's working. Well, actually, that one was attached to that tree branch. I saw it. As you get up to the top, the colouring of the atmosphere will change slightly to sort of give off even more of an atmospheric feel. And around the area at the top of these, if you keep on hitting them, they'll spin round, and when they reach the bottom, they'll lock in. And of course, the main thing over there just to lock in. Sorry if I sound bored or just a little out of it when it comes to this, because I'm really not looking forward to this chapter. I like the idea, I just don't enjoy it. It's when you'll see, like, so now we've done this, all the thunderstorm's going to kick off and it's going to open a path for us to take us up this. And you'll see as we go up there, this place is just ginormous. Ridiculously ginormous. And we stay here until it finishes loading, by the way, because it deloads the area we're just in and loads in the next section we're going to. But, yep, here we are. Just take a look. All these, like, floating islands you see off to the sides and whatnot. Well, they're not islands, they're giant mountains if you look carefully, but we'll be visiting all of them. Just keep that in mind. Look at how far away some of them are. We'll be visiting all of them to collect the timepieces. And we're taking this central, like, mountain in the middle, where we need to find a horn to open up different paths, because that's how it works. You find giant horns, when you blow into them, it opens up new paths. But now let's just start here, and welcome to the proper Alpine Skyline. There's all these little hoodie people around, with little accents, and there's also giant goat people here, but they don't talk to you. They'll just whack you if you get a bit pushy, as he says, if you get near them. And the purple time rift is right here as soon as you start, so if you want to get out of the way like I'm going to, just go for it. And it's also, the much I can get done this part as I go through all my first visits, the less I have to do next part. Because next part, if I have time, I also want to wrap up the last mission in Mafia Town as well. So then all that's left in the part afterwards is the final boss. Because yeah, once we get through this area, we'll have 38 pieces of them timepieces, so we'll have more than enough. I don't know where all the paintings are for this one. I'll give it a damn good look, but I honestly just don't know where they all are. It's something else that might end up getting thrown into an extra part if I can't find them all. If I do find them all, sweet, I can show them off, but... And this area also has slightly different music, similar to the third one you might have noticed. The first two had the same sort of music, but the third and fourth one have got different beats. Also, oh right, hello, these assholes. There's also these cat enemies that are invisible and will rob your ponds, or they have a chance of them to rob your hat. And if they rob your hat, then you have to kill them, because you can't swap to any other hat until they're dead. And so they are just as annoying as you think they are, and just as time-consuming to deal with. Like, I won't deal with them unless I have to. If they take my hat, they're dead, but if I don't have to deal with them, I'll just keep moving. Let's get this one. Oh, there's a heart down here as well, just in case. I still like the peaceful music when you're in the Purple Rifts. Although my favourite, like, Purple Rift music is still the first two Worlds one. Because it's just so tranquil and effective in being tranquil. Whereas this one is a little bit more active because it's the last one. And the Snatchers, not the Snatcher, the Subcon Forests one is quite nice as well, even if it's just not the same. I'll open this. There's also giant grapple points over here because they know you have it at this point. Go away, birds. There's this one here. Is there another painting around anywhere? Like there, that I just stumbled into. I'll double check just in case I'm not missing one. But I think that's the only one in this area. Maybe, hopefully. Right, I'm gonna say no. And just move on. Yeah, I can't see anything, Cisco. This probably is where the one I'm missing is, I just haven't spotted it. Oh, and the music changed again. Right, going backwards is where this is, so behind you is the pod for this bit, so you just gotta press on forward and see what we can find. I'm more just looking for the paintings because the crown ponds are very easy to find. They're never challenging to find, you just gotta keep an eye out and you'll spot them, and you'll always find enough. Is that a painting over there I can see? Or is that just another pond? No, it's just another pond. Oh well. No, alright. No, it's a wooden house underneath a volcano. I'm surprised it's still there. Same with this tree. I shouldn't just argue video game physics, but whatever. There's something on top of this wooden cauldron, so see if I can get up here. There we go. Oh, here's another picture. Now, is there any more pictures in this area? What about dropping down here? Is there anything down here? It's the crows! If you ever missed them just being themselves, they're there. And also more giant goats, which that's what they are, those things. They're the giant goats. Just being themselves. So outside of time risk, if you get too close to one, they will punch you away, and they hurt. But I know one of them has to have two pictures, that's why I'm looking around again, and I don't want to miss it. Oh shit. Well, alright, fine, we'll go. I probably missed it now. But there might be a second one here, because this one's the biggest of the areas. Boink, boink, boink. Because that's where we need to go, over here. But there's actually quite a lot of space in this last bit. It's actually quite cool, this bit. So you've got this side bit on to explore, the water. You've got this little birdhouse over here we can explore. You've also got these self-destructing ticking time eggs. Whereas it's literally an egg timer on it, but it will blow up after a while. If it makes direct contact with you, it'll blow up instantly. But after a while, if you stay away from it, it'll blow up by itself. they'll be your biggest threats in here, along with the birds, because this is the birdhouse areas. So of course the little bird enemies from Chapter 1 are back. Because reusing enemies, why not? Even though they won't use those slamming squids from the last part. No, they'll do this. Just double checking to see if there's a picture. Don't think there is. Which is really annoying because I think I've missed one. Actually, I'm pretty confident I've missed one. Also, this entire area is in a giant bird cage, which is foreshadowing one of the areas we'll be going to, which is just a bird cage, but still. You can't climb up this. There we go. And there's another pond over there. Right, so I can see where the fourth one is, but these are all the ones I usually find on my run. So the one I'm missing is still the same one I've always been missing, so I don't know where it is. Which is really annoying. I don't like not being able to show off everything when I'm playing a game. That's why when I eventually do Final Fantasy 15, because I want to do that, that's going to be a pain in the ass. But I'm prepared to take that challenge. Also, that's sprite's flickering out. Look, it's overlaying, overlapping even. Should have paid attention to that, devs. Now let's go over here and open this. Accept our loss. It's not over here. It's not here at all. It's not in the clouds. I think you fall straight through them if you touch them. Oh well. Let's just whack it and get our extra ponds, because we physically don't need these ponds anymore unless we start getting extra badges. Get our timepiece. Yay, 31. Alright, let's see what reward we can get out of the machine while we're at it. Oh, I like that colour. So there's a lot of silent patches as well. It's bracing myself. Also, every time you start back in the main world, because we've opened up the 4th chapter, it's just going to light up going to the final boss now, which we'll also be ignoring until we finish this. As we head back into Alpine Skyline to continue our little misadventure. Because now we've done the timepiece from the rift, we can actually get on with the proper world of it in all its glory. Also, now we're in it properly, it has its own little intro theme, instead of it just being the ominous silence. Right, because the first thing we're looking for is a giant horn. Oh, we can talk to him as well. If you notice the bright flashing lights in the sky, they're talking about the timepieces. If you see the glowing spots, that's where a timepiece is, and you need to sort of work your way over there. Also, there's the masked salesman here if you want to talk to him. And he's selling the one-hit hero badge if you want that. He's also selling the beam attack, which I'll probably show off as well in the extra part, because I'm not going to bother buying it now. Twilight Bell is that way. Yeah, okay. So there's 4 realms. There's a realm that has the lava cake in it. Yep, that is what it's called. Also, we blow the horns to unlock the areas. You've got the lava cake, the windmill, the Twilight Realm, and the birdcage are our 4 main areas of this world. When we blow this horn, it will open up the ability to go to all 4 areas. But you'll see 5 paths will come out, because there's one that will lead you to a wrong area where there's just extra loot if you want it. There's no relics in this world at all, so you don't have to worry about relic hunts in this world. Just crack on with it. And so that's all 4, and then it will just open a 5th one. Well, that one's the lava cake one, so one of the ones we've already passed is one of them, but... Fun! You've cleared the goat village. Ow! What? Alright. Oh, I can see that over there. I might as well get this. The new hat of this world. Time stop. It requires 24, which is why I recommend trying to collect every single one we've got, because we've only got 28. And it's the last hat, and it's like a headband that has a little clock on it. And when you have it equipped, you can slow down time. This is what you're expected to get to do the last mission on Mafia Town when we go back to there. because you have to win a race that's programmed to be against you. You can still very much win it with the sprint hat or the scooter badge, it's just a lot harder. But there's a lot of ways you can cheat that race, they just expect you not to do it. But yeah, the time stop hat is an amazing tool. And the thing is, you can actually abuse it and kill the final boss, because the final boss doesn't just deactivate your hat like the Snatcher does. It turns the final boss into a joke, but I'll see if I'll show off that how much you can break it with the time hat, but I won't use it too much, just so then the final boss fight is still a fight, because otherwise it'll just break it in two. Right, we'll go off left first, because we're heading towards the lava cake first, because it's the one I did first when on my initial playthrough, and I said initial because I don't want to keep on saying first in the same bloody sentence because vocabulary. My understanding of the English dictionary is not as terrible as I lead on, and I'd rather show off I understand a few things every now and then. You also need the time stop hat to do most of the puzzles in this world. Like this, you won't be quick enough to reach it without the time hat. Case in point. And it plays a nice little music to say you've done it. Alright, there's another switch here. Alright, is there a path that should be opening up? Or is this connected to something? Let's just follow the wire. Yeah, I can see there's another one. Good thing I checked. My memory of this place isn't the greatest. I know where the time rifts are for them. Like the blue ones when we unlock them. But you unlock them. But you won't realise you've unlocked them until you've probably done all the main missions anyway. Because it's not like every time you get a timepiece you're kicked out sort of thing. You'll continue as soon as you get it because of its open world like nature. It's not open world, it's just pick forward linear paths that have a few dead ends if you mess around. Also, it's multiple paths again. But it'll go back to normal, so you won't realise that. Say there's because there's a time rift linked to the windmill, but obviously it won't unlock until you've done it. That sort of thing. Right, let's get this. Boing. Go this way. No, actually, I mean, there's one to the Twilight though. I think it's the windmill's the other one. I'm not sure. We'll get to it when we get to it. Don't fuck this up. There we go. And we get a new horn. Yay! So we can open up extra areas. Start heading towards the lava cake. On your first playthrough, good luck finding the blue time rifts. Like once you find them, you know they're there for future playthroughs, sort of thing. But the hints, because you get little hint pictures, they are not helpful. Like it's like, oh, it's near a blue mountain, but every single path leads to a blue mountain. Well, one of them's on top of a tree, but there's a lot of trees. Well, it's that sort of thing. They're not helpful at all. It's not like, at least it's a Snatcher. Even though I can't find them, always struggle to find them personally. Or Subcon Forest. I need to stop saying the Snatcher. At least with Subcon Forest, they're next to landmarks. Even if I can't find them, they're next to landmarks. Once you see them, you're like, oh, right, that. You spot them from a distance and go, okay, it's over there. But let's head back because we've got the treasure. That is our reward for going the wrong way, because we did go the wrong way and all of that. We're supposed to go right, but I deliberately went left for the treasure. Let's zip back. And I wish I could just long jump across over there, but I know we won't make it. So we have to go down back this way. Boing. There's a trophy for bouncing off 5 enemies in a row. This area could be a good way to do it if you want to, if you just dash all the way along instead of going for the ledge. Similar to the bit where there's a group of birds in chapter 1 that I pointed out. If you couldn't get it there, if you couldn't get them the AI to cooperate, you can just do it there because they'll always be in the same spot. And they respawn if you fuck it up. Right, we're heading there. We're at the Ember Summit, and every time you enter a new part of it, it tells you how many treasures or secrets you need to find there is. If it's just a treasure chest, move on. You don't really need to worry about it, because it's just going to be another rift token. At the end of the day, as cool as the cosmetic stuff is, it's really not that important. Like I said, the ones that have the weird hairdo and the glasses, they move faster because if they hit you, they launch you. They don't just hit you normally. And you'll start seeing them in annoying platforming sections. Also, I like showing off this telescope here because it doesn't work. It's supposed to zoom in over there, but it doesn't. It just zooms in off over to the left for some reason. I've heard it works fine in the PC version. I guess they just must have overlooked it on the console version. which is easy to do. Because the console version of Hat in Time came out surprisingly quick after the PC version. For how little money they had in the Kickstarter. Yeah, they hit their target and they hit quite a few targets. But with what they did with the game, the fact that they managed to get it on console so quickly after PC is a merit in itself. So I'm not surprised that there's a few cracks in it for how quick they got it done.
This is the lava cake.
That kid sounds so excited. He's like, it's the lava cake! Well, to be fair, if someone told me there was a lava cake, I'd be interested as well. I wouldn't be doing what we're about to do and venture straight into it, but eh. Also, you know I said that there was a section, like when we did chapter 1, we did the lava mission, I said it was weird that there wasn't a trophy tied to not touching it. That's because there's already a trophy for not touching the lava. There's a trophy for beating the hold of the lava cake without touching the lava once. I've already got it, so I don't particularly care too much, so I'm going to be a little more careless, but if you're following along, take your time and pay attention to how all the giant nails, I think these are moving. Oh, they're pillars, they just sort of look like nails from the top. And just pay attention, because there's going to be little things like this to try and catch you. Also, you don't need to collect yarn balls at all anymore, but I'm still going to collect them just for the safe face, just in case you've missed a few along the way and you don't have enough of the time hat. Well, if you don't have enough of the time hat, I don't know how you'd get here, but...
This is clearly a safe place for a child to be.
Well, at least at least you know it's... you know it, mate. Also, there's an extra little path here. This just leads to another dead end, but you can go for it if you want. Over here. Yeah, as the kid pointed out, there's treasure over here. I don't know what their official name is. I think they're just called Sky Children, but I honestly don't know what they're called. Right, this is annoying. This has always given me trouble. This little bit of platforming. For some reason, it always just gives me that little teeny tiny bit of trouble, as we now gonna fall down to our demise. Great. There we go. Because now you have to go back on yourself and do it again. And sometimes she just does that. Or sometimes she just doesn't want to grab. Alright. God damn it. Well, that was the first death. Oh, god damn it. Oh, there's other times she just wants to climb it. Like, you know, it's just... I don't like that bit. That bit just seems off. The firebirds you can't just pounce on. You have to actually hit them with the umbrella safely. If you try and jump on top of them, you'll just hurt yourself. Let's get out. Let's go back. Let's start working our way back up to the top. We're already about halfway up, so it's not like we're too far off. Boing. Also, when I died, I had to do the whole lava cake again. There's no checkpoint in this place. So I hope you're happy I cut all that out. The glowing crosses I wasn't going to bother blowing up because it's just more ponds and we really don't need them. I should really take off the magnet for ponds. I only put it on just so I wouldn't have to worry about getting them and I could just progress through the game, but we literally don't need it. Wrong hat! Alright, if I was going for the trophy, I've lost it, but... Also, I don't remember re-equipping this mask. This extra version of the mask, but or whatever. I guess we're stuck with it now. Let's go. Have it recharged quick enough? Oh no, you don't need to anyway. And their favourite breaking away platforms are back as well. I'm pretty sure they're in every single world. In we go. Oh, there's our checkpoint. Only once we reach the top. I think there's another yarn ball over here, so we'll head off to the right instead of going straight across first. Oh, for fuck's sake, again! Note to self, pay attention. Also, what? Yeah, I need to fix my hats. I don't know why all these hats have gone out of whack. That's my sprint hat. Oh shit. Hey! Alright game, fuck me, right? Invisible wall, so I have to go around again. I mean, you're high enough so you know every player's going to try it, so why just do that? Yeah, but what do I know? I'm just a player, the guy who plays the fucking game. But as you'll see, as soon as you beat the area, it just takes you back here. I took a quick breather, so I think there might have been a quick edit you might have noticed, just before I continue. Because next, I believe we're going to is the windmill. So I work around in a circle. So here's the lava cakes, and the next place along. Yeah, it's the windmill. The windmill's a nice platforming area, so I don't mind going this way for now. Even though the lava cake was a nice platforming area. And the Twilight Realm, when we go there, is also a platforming area. And to be fair, all 4 of these areas are a platforming area. They're just platforming different. So Breakaway Bridge. But they handle it differently, because like when we get to the windmill, it's a lot more traditional. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. You're inside a building of some kind, and you just have to work your way up the building. It's very old school platforming of work your way up a tower sort of thing. The Twilight Realm will require us to use the Dweller Mask the whole way through, so if you somehow don't have that, you're not getting through that bit.
Careful.
And the Birdcage is more hiding platforms for you, so you have to look around to try and work your way through it. And whilst enemies try and be dicks and knock you away from it. So they're all slightly different platforming challenges, but they're still all platforming challenges. Knock these away. Boing. Because that tightrope there is just so you can get back, but I'm pretty sure it's also there just so you know this is the way you're supposed to go. Because otherwise, a lot of this area, as you notice, is just kind of thrown around. There's a lot of giant leaps of faith I'll be making as we go through this. Just because some stuff, they just expect you to know to go that way. And I only know where to go that way because I've done it before. But on your first playthrough, you might have a few moments where you're just spinning the camera and I'm, well, where the fuck, where am I supposed to go? That sort of thing. We blow this horn, so we can progress on. And you'll see it extended off from one that already exists. Depending on which way you lean when you're on them, depends on which path you'll go. And we'll highlight that as we go over there, but let's just use this and bounce all our way up. The whole double pad thing isn't new, we just haven't done it before. Like in Mafia Town, there's a few of them that get up and down the mountainside of it, like in the middle. You can hop from the shore to like near the middle of it quite easily with it. But there's quite a few of them, just obviously we haven't had a reason to return to Mafia Town since we got the ice hat, so it's just been left there. $975, we're gonna have over 1,000 by the time we reach the end of this game. Right, Windy Passage, neat. We're getting there. We take this up. Sorry if my commentary is not interesting, or I'm not going into topics or discussions and things like that, but this area bores the crap out of me, and so I can't think of anything to keep it interesting. I am sorry. I know, when you're doing Let's Plays, it's kind of your duty to try and be, you know, entertaining, interesting and whatnot, but this area just drains me out so much. It's over here. I think it's just a treasure. Oh no, it's a horn, so I might as well go over here. The Curly Tail Horn Trail. You need to remember this area if you're following along, because on top of this house that we're approaching now is where one of the blue rifts will be. Well, I fell down, but that house there, one of the blue rifts will appear there once you beat the windmill, so remember that's there. Because that's another bit where it's easy to forget, because you're like, it's just shrubbery, that's all you can see in the picture, so you're like, where the fuck is this? Oh, the Curly Horn Trail, it's Curly Tail Horn, it's because there's cats everywhere, it's the cat village area. I once dated someone called Cat, that wasn't fun. Hey! That's my hat, you bastard! Get back here! To be fair, this went about as well as my relationship with Cat, but story for a different day. Oh, this place does start to feel a bit repetitive. You're just trying to find horns until you can get to the areas you actually want to get to, and then you rinse and repeat it 4 times over. And you've probably noticed that we're not even halfway through it yet, and looking at my timer, well, my timer says 32 minutes, but I know it's going to be a bit ahead because I took a break I took a short break between the first one and the second one just so then I wouldn't die trying to play through it. But the video, I can imagine, at least is breaking half an hour around this point. And we're not even halfway done with this bloody place. We're doing it all of the first visits, because we have to visit every single area you've seen. We're visiting again for the rest of the timepieces. You have to do 2 visits to this world, and I'll keep bringing it up and keep repeating it and getting really annoying about it, because it is really annoying to play it. It's annoying, because I've said it many times, I enjoy this game. It is an amazing game. Just this 4th chapter, it's draining. The only good part about it is that if you've been following along, you have no reason to really do it because you've got more than enough timepieces to beat the game with. It's just if you want to go for completion, you do this world. But now we head towards the windmill. And you notice how the lava cake didn't do this intro? That's another thing that I thought was kind of weird. Every single other area but the lava cake has an intro like that. Oh, sorry, sore throat. Sorry about that. It's not nice to hear. Determined to power through this though, because if I can power through this, the rest of the game will be a breeze. Because like the first visit is the most annoying bit. The second visit isn't that bad because it is, even though it's the second visit, you've done all the hard work, so you're just going to where you need to go and getting it, sort of thing. You've already blown all the horns. You've already done the worst of the platforming, that sort of stuff. It's just annoying that you have to do them. Oh wait, hang on. I need to back. I like the music that's in the windmill. I'll at least shut up for that and so you guys can hear the windmill music for a while. I just like it, even though you can't hear it half the time because of all the gears and cranks moving and whatnot. It's just a very relaxing piece to help you crack on with this little platforming challenge. And I like this platforming challenge. I like traditional platforming challenges because I say, oh, this is just about climbing the tower. And it's nice, it's simple, it's fun. You just crack on and work your way through it. But there is an extra challenge if you head over here, as you might have noticed. This time I'm going to make sure I've got the Dweller mask on before I just go for it. It gives you a lot of time for this, so you probably won't fail it. Probably. Hopefully. I'll say that I'm going to end up eating my words and fail this now, you watch. But this one's worth doing. As I miss one. Because you get a rift token for your trouble. Yay! Because the one in Mafia Town is still the only one that actually affects the scenery once you do it. Because what you're looking for to open the door is this spell. It doesn't matter if you do that or not. But now you have that open. If you ever return to the windmill area, you end up falling down. You have this shortcut back up through the side, which is neat. I like that. It's thinking ahead, developers, instead of just letting you climb right near the top, falling all the way down to the bottom and going, oh, I have to do it all again. To be fair, it will safe lock you as well. Remember in World... No, it wasn't. It was World 2. In Chapter 2, when we was doing that final mission, when I fell down from that top bit, it just counters damage and sent me back up instead of making me start from the beginning again. This area does that as well. If you fall down from certain heights, it will just take you back up there and just take away a chunk of your health instead. Just save you the trouble. Let's see if we can land here. If you're not that good with platforming, or you've had any history of issues with platforming in the past, this might stumble you in. But if you're like me, and you've spent way too much time in games like Super Meat Boy, or just 3D platformers like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, how much I go on about that, you'll be used to this. This will be nothing to you. You might stumble on it a few times because everyone does. It's the nature of the beast. You put enough obstacles in front of someone, they'll stumble eventually. Don't really know why I'm going over to blow these up. It's just the urge overcame me, but here we are anyway. I need to do something to save my sanity when going through this place. But not just the windmill, just this whole chapter. Boing, 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 boing. There we go. Well, there's a few enemies here as well. The sleeping ones. So as soon as they wake up, they just, like that, they just fall to their demise. Bye, mate. Oh no, he came back quick. And there's a lot of spinning platforms like this because of the whole windmill nature. It's supposed to all be functioning and working. This section is a bit annoying. You stand on the button, it moves the other platform, so you have to balance it out like this. And then the last one, you have to go under like that. Ah, damn it. You see what I mean? It takes you back though. But that's annoying. You have to go under, and never a fan of that. To be fair, it's a good platforming challenge because it's not just jump to it, it's to position yourself. And this won't take you, by the way. You have to actually. There we go. So we work our way back up. There are more heart pawns just in case. Or this bit where we have to run up the wall, but the wall's moving, so you have to time it right so you can get up here. And there's something else to blow up over there if you want to. To be fair, I think one of these does actually have a rift token in there, so I guess they're worth going for, I guess. Maybe. Trying to justify my own desire to blow shit up. There's a checkpoint up here as well, just in case. Oh. And the wall's too far away for us to make it, I think. Yeah. So we need to actually need this. Come here. There we go. And to be fair, I've faced worse in platforming challenges. I said SpongeBob the movie is a harder game than Battle for Bikini Bottom in a previous part, and that wasn't just with enemies, and it's the levels themselves. The platforming challenges in the movie game are ridiculous once you get into them. Yeah, I'm sure there's worse out there, but for a game that's supposed to be kid-friendly, my god, does some of the late game in the movie game get ridiculous. It's the reason why I've 100%ed Battle for Bikini Bottom more times than I'm prepared to count, but I've never 100%ed the movie game, because I can just never be bothered. There's so much stuff that's so stupidly difficult. But then saying that, if it ever does come out, I would 100% it for you guys on the Let's Players. But it would be, I think a lot of the game would just be me going, oh god, or screaming, or just getting angry at it. But hey, you guys might actually find that entertaining, me getting pissed off at a video game. As I've noticed before, the parts where I'm fed up or angry tend to be the ones that get the most views, weirdly enough, in any of my Let's Plays. Which I've never got that. What is the fascination with people liking other people getting angry? Like, I get it, like sometimes it's funny, but at the same time... Also, this is annoying. Can I save it? Yeah, I can save it, alright. What is it? It's the same with like reaction videos. I never really got the interest of reaction videos. I never saw what was so fascinating about them and why people just suck them up like it's some kind of drug. I don't get it. It's just some other guy reacting to something you've seen or something you haven't seen. And alright, did you see that? Just phase through the fucking platform. I was supposed to land on that fucking game. But hey, maybe it's just because I'm weird. And oh, alright, third time's the charm, that kid. It was my fault because I dived at the wall to somewhere to get close enough to it. But it's right there. Hey. And by hitting this, we are halfway through the first visit to all the areas. Isn't that exciting? Oh, it seems something strange is afoot. But next, I believe, is the Twilight Realm, or the Twilight Bell. Which, when I first went through it, was my least favourite area. But I've done it a couple more times because I did a bit of practice before going into this world to try and do it as quick as I can. I actually kind of like it though. I appreciate it a lot more than I used to. My favourite area of the four is still the windmill if I had to choose. Not that any of them are particularly brilliant, but the windmill section is probably the most harmless because of how it's built and just how it's just fun. It's a platforming challenge, just how it should be. The good thing is that the Twilight Bell is the easiest to get to. It takes no time at all to get over there compared to the other ones.
The Twilight Bell is just ahead.
So that kid's not lying, it really is just ahead. But as you've probably noticed as we head over here, you need the Dweller Mask for this. The Twilight Bell's gimmick is entirely to do with this. So if you don't have it, you're not getting far. Also, this is kind of cool. You have to run up the slope so you have enough height to make the jump. AKA, they want you to waste time so you can make it. There we go. But you'll see as we get this, we're already here at the bell. And you're thinking, oh, that was easy. That's because it hasn't started yet. Unlike the other ones, Well, see, unlike the other ones where the challenge is right in front of you, the bell is a bit more secretive than that. You don't realise what the challenge is until you're there. Also, the tree to our very right, next to the masked salesman, that's where our other blue time rift will be. So remember this area as well as we go to the Twilight Bell.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's
If only
huge.
I could reach it.
Oh, it's so mystifying. Once you shake everything, this happens. And you're now inside the Twilight Realm. No, not the one from Twilight Princess. The real Twilight Realm. I still remember being about 10 years old. And getting Zelda Twilight Princess on my Nintendo Wii. And I was talking about it to one of my friends. And I remember distinctly because it was back when the Twilight film series was still being a craze and everyone was still loving it. And mentioning it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm playing this game, Twilight Princess, and they go, Twilight Princesses? I'm like, no, not that one. Twilight as in the Daytone. Fucking. Also, this section there's a lot of different puzzles with the bell and the Dweller mask, and like I said, everything overlaps. So if you've used the bell to make something physical, you can then use the mask to make it unphysical again. There's also these negative bells that will make something not only not physical, but physically impossible to become physical again. See what I did there? Oh, there's something glowing under there. I mean, I'm sure it's not something important. It's the conflicting mindset. Do I just go get it, or do I? Oh fuck. It's like, do I just go get it, or do I just leave it? Because I can imagine it not being that important. Oh, it's a yarn ball. I can see through it. Let's go get it. But I like this area. It's cool. So when I first went through it, I hated it. I really didn't enjoy it at all. But nowadays, I'm alright with it. But the music's not as interesting as the windmill. It's just kind of an ominous piece, which is fair enough in its own ground. But yeah, the idea for this section is that you need to go straight ahead to to pass it, but you need to go both ways to open the path to the end once you get to the end. So don't expect to just be able to go like, no, you've got the key. Don't immediately just head off, otherwise you won't be able to make it. You see, like, this gone physical. No, you have to wait. So you can make this physical and then go out of it and make this physical. And physical is going to be the name of the game here. This is going to be a fun bit. You got to knock this and then race. Move as fast as you can. Because it won't make you the whole way, so you have to use this. You have to use your mask to make the rest. And you blow a horn made of the phantom stuff. So it will open a path later on. So if you just progressed without going both sides, you wouldn't get very far. You'd have to backtrack. Now we can hit this bell. And to be fair, we don't have to go all the way back with this. We can just dive off from here. Turn this off, and we can make it through. Right, the idea of this one is that making these physical will lift up the platform, as you can see there. So you just have to move forward as you go. But the first order of business, also these enemies are a part of it as well, so you can only hurt them when you're through the Dweller mask. You can pop their bubble, but you can't do anything else. Yeah, there we go. If that one's not high enough, you won't make it under. You have to use this, because then when you lift it, because yeah, it's physically impossible to get under it, but when you lift it, because it's got the negative bit in it, it won't count it, so you can use it to your advantage to get through anyway. And then you need to turn it back off. There we go. Because otherwise it completely blocks off this one, and we won't be able to escape otherwise. We also need to be quickly hit this bell, because it will make a wall that we're going to launch through, like not physical anymore, so we can go through it. There we go. Also, there's some ghost goat just wandering around the background over there. Whee! Boing. Right, now we've done the rest of it. What we need to progress is lower this. Oh, no, it's not dropping down. Oh, it's because we haven't done the one up top. Actually, oh wow, we managed to get it from jumping up there. Because there's one above it as well that you have to drop down. And once you drop down both of them, then you can make it over to get to it. you're supposed to do that one first, and I just forgot to do it. Oops. Let's go. This section you'll probably find, like when I hit this bell, it'll overlay it. So you somehow didn't. I know I've tried my best to explain, but you somehow didn't get it up to this point. You'll see what I mean. By overlapping counts as a double negative with these. Right, there we go. Oh, missed the ladder, the hat kid. Thanks. Climb the fucking hat kid ladder. Climb. Thank you. But we're nearly there. We just have to climb up this. Then we drop through and it's just inside down here. And there we go. And now there's only one more left and we've done all the first visits. And we can wrap up this part that's, I can already sense is going to be like nearly an hour long. As another one of these gets released. Ooh, I kept silent for the last one just so you can see the concept and just not have to, you know, me whittering on. But something is happening in infecting the goat people, which will play a part in the second visit, and is the sole reason why we're doing the second visits. But we'll get to them when we get to them. Because our last location is the birdhouse that you can see over there. The birdhouse I was at for a long time as well on my first run, because I said its puzzle is that it kind of just hides where you need to go at some parts. You have to just sort of circle the camera around and be like, where the hell am I supposed to go? And eventually you'll spot it. Bird Pass Fork. Right, if you head right instead of left, there's a secret over here as well. You don't have to go this way. In fact, on my first playthrough, I didn't go this way at all because I didn't even spot it. But it is over here. There's another path over here that leads to more secrets. Oh my god, looking at my timer, it says that I've been recording for 50 minutes. I know, like I said, it'll be slightly less in the video, so I took a slight break after the first one, but ow. But this place is so draining. No, I'm not helping. Oh, this is Cat Village. Be careful, because there's going to be cat folk around. You might be able to see an outline of them. There's one chasing us up the path. But it's gone now. Oh, there's one there! I only spotted it as I went to jump into it, but it's only taken a pond, so you can keep it for all I fucking care. Yeah, go away. Right, if you jump from roof to roof so we can get over here. See what I mean, where the platforming is a bit weird. But it's the same with this whole chapter, to be fair. Some of the platforming is just they expect you to, hey! To know it. Give me back. Ah! Thank you. The good news is that because I know where I'm going, I can relax in this area a bit because there's not too much of a challenge elsewhere. But here's our treasure. Get our rift token. Right, now they head back. I do like how the music speeds up when you're on these things, though. It is cool. Oh shit. I thought I hit square, but never mind.
The birdhouse is this way.
Oh, thanks, little guy. You know, just in case you don't have the brewing hat at this point.
Make sure you swing towards the path you want.
Well, there's only one path. It's that foreshadowing that's going to give us a second path once we do the rest of it, small guy. Do you think you have to put that tutorial there just in case someone goes to this one first instead of the other one? You can see the lava cake from here. Look, we've nearly done our full circle around this place, visiting every area.
There's a horn at the top.
Thanks for telling me. Let's go get that horn. You know, a heart pond would be nice as well at some point. Just saying. I can imagine it's not too hard to ask, as my... Alright, can't stand on that. Every other bush we can stand on, that one's just a no-go. There it is. Now I feel a bit more safe. That's a bounce pad. And I guess it's a checkpoint here for some reason as well. Like, it's not like it's that hard. You can get back up here easy, but whatever. And we're going to be jumping back down there anyway because now we've blown this. We don't need to be up here still. There's no treasure here, because it said when we first got it there's no treasure here, so we don't have to waste our time here any further. You've cleared this area, yay! Because they have that thing to tell you, just in case you go, like, if you want every single rift token in the game, just so then you don't have to explore the whole thing out to realise you've already got it, or there isn't one, that sort of thing. You can just look at the sign, if it's green, you've got something, you've got everything there is to get there. If it's red, you haven't. But now we have to head back so we can go back on ourselves to go the other path.
Make sure you swing towards the path you want.
I will. What the heck, it's still going. I said, thankfully there isn't too much left for our first visit. So this one's red, for example, so you know there's a treasure here. And it also tells you when you land that there's a treasure missing. There we go. Boing, boing. There's nothing to commentate on, I'm sorry. We're just heading towards a giant birdhouse. This is a nice little bit though. You have to actually kind of position yourself right to blow it up. You can't just throw it willy-nilly. You have to actually be a bit more careful with it. If you stand at the right spot, you don't have to go back down to get that, so I'm hoping I can get it from here. Like that, hey! Speedrunning tactics! And she's laughing because that hit an enemy. That's what that little devious laugh she just did was. So there's an enemy somewhere down there that just met their fate. But now we start working our way towards the actual birdhouse. And the timepiece, as you can see, isn't actually that far away from where we start. It's just getting over there. It's like the birdhouse. Ooh. Still weird the lava cake doesn't get an intro like this. Oh well. And there's the must hat salesman if there's a badge you want. I'm gonna let this blow up. There we go. It will destroy things that you can't destroy if you, like these big hay bales. Ow. And now you see what the purple rift was foreshadowing, with lots of little bird dens. And look how fast that guy is. So if he hits you, he just launches you away. He's a little bastard, is what he is. Let's see if I can get him to blow this up. There we go. Thank you. So there's no reason to collect these anymore because we've got all the hats in the game. Oh, alright. I deserve that. Jesus, just, there we go. Let's try that again. This way, through here. No egg to explode on us. But this guy, though. That's annoying. They put one of these on all these tiny platforms with the hope of knocking you off. There we go. Oh, ice hat bit. Or curved platforms like this. No, it's not curved, it's slanted even, sorry. Oh, we're nearly there. We can probably get it done in the next couple of minutes. I just want to get it done because my throat's starting to ache. I don't usually talk with this long, especially not to myself. Boing. Hey. Thankfully, he hit me into the slant, so I didn't get knocked back too far. Ow. Right way to ladder? No, wrong way to ladder. Never mind. We're nearly there. We just gotta... I believe, actually, we have to head off left first. We have to activate something. I believe. I might be wrong. Either that or it's just another rift token. With lots of exploding eggs, because why not? Oh no, it's a horn, so it is worth coming over here. So we'll open the path we need to go to wrap up. Because that's the last horn we need to blow. Yay. And look at that giant bird that's asleep on its head. Like, why? See if we can make it. Yes, we can. Ow. Well, at least it killed the other enemy as well while it was at it. But we're there, we've done it. We've done all 4 parts. Yay. So I can finally rest my throat for a bit before I go do the second half. Also, you bounce off this guy for some reason. Anyway, next time on A Hat in Time, we'll do the second half of Alpine Skyline. But until then, you guys take care now.